What's up everybody, welcome back to Swanky Disc Golf. It is that time of year again. We are counting down the top 10 best disc releases of 2025. This is of course our personal opinions. There are so many discs coming out each year that there's no possible way we can keep track of them all. This is just our 10 favorites. So be sure to let us know in the comments what we missed, what was your favorite disc release of the year, and let's jump into it. Starting at number 10, we're going with the Zone SS. It's making the list because I think it's an awesome disc. It's low on the list because it's kind of a retool, but it is its own mold. The numbers are 4, 4, -1, 2. And I think this has been very highly anticipated, especially since the release of the Zone OS. Discraft is famous for having a base disc and then an SS and an OS version, and that's one of the reasons why we love Discraft, is being able to have this similar hand feel in a similar disc, but different stabilities right out of the box. The Zone SS flies a lot like a beat-in zone straight out of the box. And again, I think that is highly sought after. People love their beat-in zones for their approach discs, and I don't think you might even realize how beat-in your zone is until you lose it and you pick up a new one and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a completely different disc. I've been bagging the Zone SS alongside the Zone, and they work in tandem really, really well. I will say it's been going back and forth for me between the Zone SS and the Tempo. I think that's a pretty good comp, the Tempo maybe being a little bit more overstable, but they're actually very similar discs with different hand feels because the Tempo has that overmold that so many people love. And speaking of the Tempo, it's one of our favorite discs here on this channel, and I'm super excited to announce that we have our own run of Axiom Tempos coming out December 5th with Disc Golf Deals USA. That's right, this is the Swanky Christmas stamp. I am so excited for these. We have Tempos and we also have Hexes. They came out looking so cool. We have these awesome colors. We have some with these crazy swirly rims. These are coming out December 5th. It is an awesome way to support our channel if you would want to go and pick one of these up. They not only look awesome, but they help support us, and you can use discgolfdealsusa.com/swanky, our link, to get 10% off. Again, these are coming out December 5th. Be sure to pick one up. They are limited quantity. It's a limited run. And yeah, you can use our discgolfdealsusa.com/swanky link anytime you want. Any of the discs on this list are going to be over there. They have over 30,000 discs in stock at any given moment. But if you're looking for a fun Christmas gift this season, be sure to pick one of these up December 5th. Now let's move on to number 9. We are going with the Discmania Founder. We here at Swanky Disc Golf love ourselves some understable mid-ranges. This is possibly the most understable mid-range we've ever thrown, including being compared to the Rolo. Again, I'll say the reason why this is so low on the list is because we do have the Innova Rolo, which is a very similar disc, a very similar hand feel and flight, but I would say the Founder is even more understable. It wants to turn to the right even more. The numbers are 5, 6, -4, 1. And maybe in their base plastics, they fly pretty similar, but even the Neo plastic, premium plastic Founder is so crazy understable. It is so good for beginners who are trying to learn how to throw hyzer flips and control shot shapes. It is also just really good for anyone who wants to be able to get these crazy, throw it on hyzer, flip it up to flat, have it turn to the right kind of shot. This is going to be a disc that shows you exactly what you're doing wrong and helps you learn to throw crazy shot shapes that are sometimes very useful out on the course. And that's why the Founder is coming in at number 9. Coming in at number 8, we're going over to Streamline, and we're going with the Boost. A lot of people are saying the Simon Line Aspect that's coming out very soon feels very similar to the Streamline Boost, and it is just an awesome control driver. We of course here at Swanky have talked about the Onyx being a really awesome disc for a long time, and this is coming in a very similar sort of slot to the Onyx. It's just a super usable disc that I love to see more of, especially coming in Streamline Plastic. I think that it fits really great in their lineup. I think it's something kind of new and fresh. And also, if you're not bagging an overstable 10 speed, it's probably because you're bagging an overstable 9 speed, but this slot is gonna fly a little bit different. It'll be a little less overstable. It'll fly a little bit farther, and I feel like for amateurs, that's kind of what you're gonna want to pick up instead of maybe something like a Firebird or a Raptor or something like that. Check out the Streamline Boost and see how you like it. Number 7, moving from one trilogy to the other, we're going to Latitude 64 for the Peak. The Peak is a sweet putter. It almost got me to switch away from PA3s. It didn't quite get me there, but I love seeing a beaded putter out of Latitude 64 coming in that sweet Royal Grand plastic. As a thrower and a putter, this thing excels. It's got a very subtle bead on it to the point where if you love beaded putters, you're gonna love this. And if you don't really like beaded putters, but you wanna try it out, it's gonna be perfect for you. You're barely gonna notice it's there. In the premium plastic, as a thrower, you get this really long, straight flight out of it for a putter. I don't know how best to explain it, but it has a very thin, shallow hand feel. And maybe you like that, maybe you don't. I personally really like that. It's such an easy thrower that I started putting with it, and I love putting with it as well. It's a very straight shooting kind of putter, very slightly overstable, which I think is what most people are looking for in a putting putter, but not as overstable as the PA3. I think the PA3 tends to turn some people off because of just how overstable it feels when you're putting with it. It seems to be sort of a collaboration with Isaac Robinson, who did come from putting with the PA3, so maybe it is a sort of retooled PA3 to his preferences. Really, it's on the list because it is a straight flying beaded putter that we love that comes in Royal Grand plastic, some of the best plastic on the planet. If you're looking to switch putters, I would recommend trying the Peak Out. At 6, we're going with the most controversial disc in the past couple years. We're looking at the Simon Line Balance. Some of you might remember the balance dilemma. I don't remember exactly how the drama unfolded, but I know some of you guys will remember when Axiom and Simon Lizotte tried to release the Simon Line Balance. Come to find out, Essential Discs had swooped in and kind of already claimed it as a disc and the name of a disc anyways. Lots of complicated legal stuff, but we do now have the Simon Line Balance. There was a prototype that came out at the end of 2024, and this year we saw a kind of more balanced stock run 5502 overstable mid-range. Simon Line Balance is super comfy, just slightly overstable, enough to where you can throw it on a forehand. You can even throw it on some Anheuser and get nice flex out of it, but not so overstable where it feels almost unusable. This overstable mid-range slot is kind of a difficult one to manage, especially for amateurs. I see a lot of amateurs who try out something like the Malta and they realize it just doesn't fly anything like the pros make it fly, but they want that same flight. I think you'll find it out of the Balance. A mid-range that's going to be comfortable on forehand and backhand is very hard to find, and if you like overmolds, I think on mid-ranges and putters specifically, they feel even better than not having overmolds. Definitely try out the Balance. All right, we're already on to number 5. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video if you like this kind of content. We're posting videos every single week, and let us know again below what we missed. What's your top 10 disc releases of the year? This next one is also kind of controversial, not for the same reason, but because it is another catch disc. And we've seen this catch disc craze kind of come and go. The latest disc coming out seemed to be the Streamline range. A lot of people kind of gravitated to it. Some people dubbed it the Berg SS with this sort of concave rim. I can see why a lot of people like it, but I'm actually giving a shout out to a slightly lesser known catch disc that came out this year that I think is even better, and that is the Kastaplast Sten. From my understanding, Sten means stone in Swedish, which is very fitting because this is meant to be a disc that does not go very far. It glides, and then it drops out of the air. It's a really soft, buttery feeling plastic on a catch disc, and I think it flies more similarly to a glitch than the range does. The range is a 1-speed, but it flies a little bit more similarly to not as overstable Berg, like a slightly understable Berg. The Sten really flies a lot like the glitch, but it is in that buttery Swedish plastic. Kastaplast has some of the coolest and most unique plastic you will ever throw, and that's, again, sort of the main reason why we're putting it on the list, is because it's got a really cool plastic, but it's also a great disc. I know some people have thrown the glitch, you've thrown the Spore, you've even thrown the Berg, and you've said none of these discs are for me. Each of these are going to have slightly different hand feels and slightly different flights, including the Sten. So don't give up on catch discs just yet. Try out the Sten and see if it fits that slot for you. All right, number 4, we're going to dynamic discs for the Motive. While they seem to be struggling to come up with new ways to make criminal names, they are coming up with some pretty cool new discs, including the Motive, which is a really understable 8-speed. The numbers are 86, -32, and admittedly, it doesn't really fly quite like those numbers suggest. I love this understable 8-speed slot. A lot of us think of the Essence when we think of understable 8-speeds, one of the more popular fairway drivers in existence. We here at Swanky love that disc, and I think this is a pretty good comparison, except for more consistently understable. Our issue with the Essence is sometimes they come out straight up overstable. Don't know what it is. There's something with the manufacturing. It's even known that if you get like a pink Neo, Essence, it's just gonna be overstable. It's not gonna fly like the numbers suggest at all. The Motive has come out consistently understable, really sweet disc. We absolutely loved throwing it. Dynamic Discs is under the house of discs, so you know, maybe there's some Royal Grand plastic floating around in there. But honestly, really sweet release. I love seeing Dynamic Discs come out with new stuff. Number 3, there was an entire new company kind of born this year out of Discraft. But Climo Discs came out of nowhere. Ken Climo made a sort of return and is sort of starting his own disc golf brand company line of discs. Regardless of what it is, it gave us the Osprey, which we have actually been loving here at Swanky Disc Golf. The Osprey is an understable 10-speed, and I just harp on the fact that I think that 10-speed is an underutilized slot in so many disc golfers' bags. Really great control driver. I think for a lot of people, 10-speed is as far as you need to go in terms of amateur arm speed and going up the flight numbers of speed. I think you can get everything you need out of 10 speeds as far as distance drivers go. And this one, the flight numbers are 10.6, -3, 1, and it really does fly like that. You can throw it on a little bit of hyzer, watch it flip up and turn to the right, and then fade a little bit at the end. You can also just throw it straight and it's gonna fly very, very straight for a long time. You might get a little bit of right turn out of it. It's also so good for pushing hyzer shots. I was very surprised by it. The plastic even feels different than normal Discraft plastic. I don't know quite how to explain it. You'll have to pick it up and try it, but it did feel unlike any Discraft plastic I have ever picked up. And that is why the Osprey is coming in so high on the list. Really, really cool disc. Number 2, I'm going with the Discraft Malita. Malita? The understable version of the Malta, which I mentioned earlier so many people have picked up and not really liked. I don't even think Paul Macbeth likes the Malta. Ezra Robinson really likes the Malta. It's not a bad disc, I'm not saying that. And Paul Macbeth decided to fill in his lineup by making a more Buzz-like straight flyer to slightly understable mid-range. It really is just a straight flyer. The numbers are 5.5, -1.1, and this thing is buttery. The closest thing I can compare it to is a Pathfinder. And for those of you who are Pathfinder truthers, you know the Pathfinder is so good at flying dead straight for a very long time. That's what I'm getting out of the Malita. The hand feel, even just that sort of shoulder. I don't know what it is about the Pathfinder, but it has a very unique dip in the shoulder that the Malita kind of shares. Really awesome mid-range, and it is slightly more understable than, and this is exactly how I describe the Pathfinder, is it's in between a Buzz and a Buzz SS. I don't know if that really makes sense. I don't know if you're gonna go out there and bag a Buzz, a Malita, and a Buzz SS. You're probably not going to, but the stability, 5.5, -1.1, genuinely is in between a Buzz and a Buzz SS, and it flies so good. I think people will like this better than the Buzz. If the Buzz hadn't been around for so long, and there are people like myself who just are crazy about the Buzz and will probably never switch from it, this is probably gonna be a better mid-range for you. It's an absolutely sick disc, and I'm so glad that they released it. It is very much so like a Pathfinder, in my opinion, but you can try it out and let me know for yourself. And now, on to the number 1 disc release of 2025. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What disc did we miss? And again, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a ton. And don't forget, on December 5th, these absolutely gorgeous tempos and hexes are going live at discgolfdealsusa.com/swanky to get 10% off. Moving on to number 1. Now, we include Trash Panda discs on many of our lists because we love them. We don't always put them at number 1 because they're really, really good discs, but he seems to be improving year over year. And this year, we genuinely wanted to put these discs at number 1 because we love them so much and throw them so much. I think these are, we cheated. There's 2 discs. I could narrow it down to 1 specifically, but Trash Panda discs released 2 discs this year, the Canyon and the Pro Scion, and both of these discs are our favorites of the year. Genuinely our favorites of the year. We might be a little biased there, but we picked up the Canyon for the first time, and speak of something that feels kind of like a tempo, the Canyon has it. It also looks so cool in the phone case plastic that's like translucent with all of this sort of confetti type of plastic in it. The look, the feel, the flight, it has everything we wanted. It's also very unique. It's sustainably developed. And then you have the Pro Scion, which is 11.5 for -1.2, which is just right up our alley. We absolutely love those sort of straight flying to slightly overstable 11 speeds. You can compare it kind of to maybe not a Wraith, it's not as overstable as a Wraith, but probably pretty similar to the Drive. But again, in this recycled plastic that is starting to be very difficult to tell that it's even recycled. And the Canyon is 4302, by the way. We had a tournament where we had all of Trash Panda's discs lined up on the table for our players pack. He sponsored the tournament, and the Canyon was by far the first disc to go. People were literally grabbing it, putting it in their bag, and using it for the tournament that day. They went almost instantly. Every person who came by grabbed a Canyon until they were gone, and everybody else got the leftovers. These are really cool discs that are unique. It's like a beaded, overstable approach disc, but not so overstable like a Zone or a Pig or something like that. A lot like a Tempo that you can get at Disc Golf Deals USA on December 5th. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you in the next one. Stay swanky.